Hi everybody. I wanted to tell you a story about a woman named Mabel. 3 years after she married her husband Joseph, they decided they wanted to try to start a family. So they ran into a lot of issues. The first thing that happened is they were told point blank that Mabel was infertile. So they recommended that she start hormone injections. They tried that for 2 years and that didn't work. Then doctors told her that her fallopian tubes were closed, so she had 2 separate surgeries to open them. That didn't work. Then, a few years later, she was driving, stopped at a red light, and she passed out. The person behind her honked just a few seconds. She came to and she drove off. Thankfully, nothing else happened. But she went to go see her doctor, who sent her to a neurologist. The neurologist did a scan and called her that same evening at 9 o'clock to tell her that they had found a tumor the size of an orange around her pituitary gland and that they scheduled her for surgery a few weeks later. Obviously shaken up, she went to seek out a second opinion. So she went to New York Hospital to see a doctor. And that doctor told her about an experimental drug called Parladel that had recently come out. The side effects were uncertain and it was experimental, so it was risky. After signing lots of consent papers, she decided to begin treatment to try to minimize the size of the tumor. After a year, she began to see changes in her body. Regular testing showed that the tumor had in fact reduced in size. However, one day she wasn't feeling well, so she went to see her doctor. The doctor was checking her out to see if everything was okay, and they did a sonogram, and they gave her this printout and told her that she was pregnant. And she couldn't believe it. After so many years of trying and her hopes being tested, she was beside herself. So 5 months into the pregnancy, they did the amniocentesis to check the health of the baby. Doctors told Mabel and Joseph that this was a high-risk pregnancy and that due to all of the factors, there was a very, very high probability that the baby would be born with some kind of defect, whether it be physical or mental or developmental. Their medical recommendation to Mabel and Joseph was to abort the pregnancy for her safety. After 9 years of attempting to conceive, abortion was not something that Mabel and Joseph would even remotely entertain as a possibility. They wanted to move forward with the pregnancy. 4 months later, at a high-risk, very dangerous cesarean, they gave birth to a very healthy baby girl and were overjoyed to finally have the baby they had long waited for, and the baby that over the course of 9 years they had almost lost hope of being able to conceive on their own. I share this because it's a beautiful story, but also because that's me. And I am really, really glad that my parents said yes. They said yes to life, that they said yes to what was a complicated journey ahead and an unknown. They could have very easily said no, and I wouldn't be here to make this video. So I wanted to share this story because it's obviously very important to me and very special to me, and I wanted to share that with all of you. So thank you for listening.